So let's talk about the metaverse. Yesterday, I was watching a video by Penguins or Critical, whatever you want to call him, and he was talking about Facebook changing their name to Meta and just talking about how good or bad it will be. And this is just my opinion, and let's talk about it. So, does Facebook really need to think about the future and stuff like that? I don't know. But I don't use Facebook anymore. And the future is very scary because right now humans can't really they're not the best, and it's like we're going downhill as a human species, and they're already thinking about the future. And oh, you don't need to leave your house to go to work and do all of these things, and it looks very, very scary. Like, what's wrong with the real world? Why do we need to live on a virtual world? And even now with like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, blah blah blah, you can recreate your life. Literally, you can recreate everything with just these social media apps, and you can be completely different in how you are in real life compared to your online persona. That's really scary. And it's all happening right now. And people can't control their addictions, and people are obsessed with likes, stuff like that. Very not good stuff to deal with as a generation, but people are pushing forward for the future, and it really looks scary. It really, there's nothing wrong with living in the real world, and people are so fascinated with living a virtual world. We're already living one right now. And right now, it's very bad. If we go to the future, it's gonna be even worse. I'm telling you now. It's gonna be really scary. And it's just gonna be like Wally. Those fat people on their chairs, and and they're too lazy to do anything. I didn't watch Wally in like 10 years, but I still remember all those fat people. They cannot even turn a page of a book, and they're so fascinated by it. That's what humanity is heading to. Like, every simple thing, it's gonna be like, wow, that's amazing. And sooner or later, all of this technology, it will be like very boring. And after that video, I watched another video about like social media, and this guy, I don't know who he is. He has like almost 10 million subs, also talking about the future, and he's also kind of afraid of it. And that's how I feel. Because now it's like people are just waiting for what's next. What's the next big thing? What's new? And oh, I've seen that before. And people get bored so freaking easily. And it's like the bar just keeps getting higher. People are not that easily impressed anymore. Technology keeps improving, and that's very scary. And in a way, like, simple things get rewarded so much. Like, people, it's turning, everything's turning topsy turvy, and everything's going upside down. Like, someone who just films in a not edited video and just a random background, and that's like, people get so attached to that, like, wow, that's so relatable. And if someone is like in a high budget studio or something, it's like, that's not impressive anymore. That's kind of strange. But yeah, I hope humanity goes to that simple is better, and you don't need to be flashy. You don't need to try to impress everyone. And like, you can just live a simple life, and that's okay. If people just realize that, it's totally fine to be average. It's totally fine to not drive not own 5 Lamborghinis, not sleep in a mansion, stuff like that. If people can realize that, then the whole world, literally everything will improve, everything will get better. No one will like get offended so easily. You wouldn't compare yourself with other people, you wouldn't judge people as much. If people can only realize that a simple life, nothing is wrong with a simple life, but everyone just wants to go forward. What's the next big thing? Blah blah blah. And everyone's mental health is not good right now with all of these social media. That's why you always see those videos of people saying, "Hey, I quit TikTok for 30 days. This is what I learned. Wow, I'm so free." Blah blah blah. But that was the life of people. My life in the like 2000s, like 2008 or something. And that's how people lived in 1950. For me, I didn't need to worry about who's making millions, or this 13-year-old got like won the lottery, or went to Ellen or something. I don't know. I only worried about my classmates, myself, and my friends and my neighbors. Like the circle was very small. Now with social media, you're competing with everyone in the entire world. Depends on who you search. And that's scary because now you're comparing with this 8-year-old who got $1 million and this 13-year old who sold millions of albums, something like that. And it's very I feel really sorry for the people that live in this, like who were born in this generation. I really feel sorry. Yeah, cool, you have technology, but it's not really helping you in like a deeper level. Like for me, when I was a kid, I was just playing rocks, drawings, and like it was very fun and you were in the moment. Now people, Mark Zuckerberg, he he's talking about connecting people, but even now with all of these tools that help us connect with people, it's like we're drifting even further away. Like think of right now, even today, even 5 years ago, like people were glued to their phones when they were having dinner or hanging out with friends. People are always on their phones. What more do you want to go in the future? And that will be even worse. Yeah, we can connect with anyone and everyone in the world, but we can do that, but we don't do it in real life. And everyone wants to go in the virtual world. That's scary. And for me personally, luckily we all die, and I wouldn't live long enough to be in that future. I wouldn't want to be in that future. Seriously. I think things are going downhill. People as humans going downhill. Unless we can stop all of this comparison, and everything needs to be better, everything needs to improve very fast, and people don't want to live in a real world anymore, and people want to create false identities or try and be something that they're not. If people can go through this obstacle, then that's great. If people can use it in a good way, that's great. But people, as you know, cancel culture, all of that stuff, people get offended easily, blah blah blah. It's like, come on, man. In 2012, people were not that snowflakey. Like people can take a joke. Now it's like literally anything you say, if it doesn't meet the opinions of other people, then you're like a super villain. Now you're Hitler or something. And that's very scary, and I really don't think humans are capable of handling it in the future. And people are going to get more isolated, more antisocial than ever before. Even though we can connect with anyone like from China or New Zealand or anywhere in the world, what about the people in front of us? You don't even care about them. And that's very scary. Luckily, I won't live that long, but it's just a very bleak future. And I had this belief for a long time. I hope technology doesn't advance too fast and people living in their VR worlds and all of that rubbish. And I'm just gonna enjoy the moment. I don't want to care about those kind of things. I don't use social media anymore, and I just want to live my life, and that's it.